One fan base, one city, one team brings us all together. The Cleveland Browns. If you're a Browns fan, this podcast is for you. Welcome to Down with the Browns.
Welcome back to another episode of Down with the Browns. What's up, boys?
Not too
It's
much.
been a minute.
Really
Man,
have.
you're muted. There we go. Oh. Okay. Manny's muted. We'll get right to it. MC's in here. Drew's in here. What's up, boys?
Yeah.
We're glad to be back. It's been a minute.
Mhm.
As Manny gets his mic fixed up.
It's been much
Got
fun.
Jake and Blake.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Jake and Blake, the dynamic duo of the Aches.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Find
We
out
took-
this weekend.
Yeah.
You guys find out why I've been out for a good while. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to show you guys where I've been and stuff.
He wrestled a bear.
I wrestled multiple bears.
Wrestle the bear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He won
Mm.
3 times.
Obviously.
You don't see the bear on the podcast, do you?
No.
Exactly. So what's been up, boys? It's been a minute. It's been like a month since we've been live. So what's everybody been up to?
Bro, not much. Trying to enjoy the off season as much as we can. And the dog is lit.
Getting that little roof out.
Bruh.
Hey, Drew ordered him a training camp hat today. Let's go,
Great.
Drew.
I need to get me
Thank you.
Okay, bro.
Yeah,
I want
we
that
see you.
starter jacket.
Bro, that starter jacket's fire.
kidding.
It's on Homage. Go check that out.
Yeah,
Pretty
man.
tough. Yep. But yeah, whenever Manny gets back in here, we'll get into the schedule that they dropped about a week and a half ago. Talk a little bit about that and
Yep,
give
yep.
predictions on what each week we think will happen and our total schedule breakdown. Then we got Jake. I know he has the stats from the Stat Farm on strength of schedule.
Yep.
So then Blake, he's got the mean mug. He's ready to get down, dirty, gritty, ready to get at it.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Bro,
Come on,
are you
man.
guys- Manny's getting that dog in the kennel.
Yeah.
Shout out to Manny Celtics for that Mickey Mouse run to the finals.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Bro.
Am I the
I'm-
one on this show that doesn't watch the NBA?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Right now is the best time to watch it too, bro.
Dude, Luka and Kyrie are just going crazy. Crazy.
No, dude. Luka game 1. Listen, Luka game 1 cracked me up. That I mean, like you just knew it was gonna happen too. He inbounds, he's going down the court, he sauces up Gobert, hits him with that step back, and then just drains a 3.
That was game 2, wasn't it?
That was game 1. It might have been game 2.
Yeah, I think it was game 2.
Was it? Either way, big shot. And then, bro, he just he looked at him and he said he was speaking in what? Slovenian.
Slovenian.
But bro, that
It was
and
not.
let's say
It was not.
unless the F word's a part of the Slovenian language, I don't think that boy was talking that. But yeah, since Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Celtics fan is in here, we will give a little schedule breakdown. So here we go. Here, I'll take this little banner off so you can see Blake. So over here, we've got the 2024 Cleveland Browns schedule. It shows the preseason there. August 10th, Green Bay.
I
August
have a
17th.
problem with it.
You got a problem with it? Let's hear it. Air it out for us.
Dude, week 3, we're going all the way to Seattle to play at 7 p.m. Usually, week 3, you play like a local team.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's like god awful for a preseason game. Why would you go all the way across the country for the last week of preseason?
But you get that week off though.
You do get the week off.
Terrible.
Yeah.
afterward.
I was listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, and they said on that trip they would get back at like 3 or 4 in the morning,
Ugh, that is bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually a little crazy.
and they heard that it could be 7 o'clock Seattle's time and not 7 o'clock our time.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
So it's 10
that's why I
p.m.?
don't like it.
Are starters even going to go to that game?
I have no idea.
I don't think. You know what? I don't.
If I was
think
them,
so.
I wouldn't, just because of how bad that scheduling is for a preseason game.
That just
Yeah.
glorified tryout for the third and fourth string players that are trying to keep a spot.
Because go look at like other people's week 3, and it's like a bus drive to that place, most likely.
Mm. And I think that what's really interesting too is, like, you know, Roger Goodell kind of hinted at the possibility of
Of removing it.
removing it and then putting
Another week.
another week, and that would put it would put the Super Bowl when there was right next to the holiday. What holiday is that? In February.
Yeah.
MLK Day? Is that right?
I
President's
think
Day?
it's
President's Day.
President's Day, right?
Yeah,
So
Blake said it. Yep, you're right.
Right. And so what I think would be so amazing is if they just got rid of one of those preseason games, and then so that way the Super Bowl officially becomes like almost a mini national holiday in which
Yeah.
you'd have the Super Bowl and everybody can have a Super Bowl party at home, and then the next day you don't have to wake up for work because it's President's Day. So I think that would be a fantastic idea, but it doesn't really change the fact, because, you know, that they're going all the way to Seattle. But again, like Jake said, I don't even know. We're going to see a lot of people, and I tried my best to pay attention to the preseason roster last year and try to see there were still names that I had no idea.
Mhm.
I still and I thought I watched the Browns like very closely, but we're going to see people at Seattle, especially at 7 p.m. Seattle's time. It's got to be Seattle's time, right? Because I'm looking at this schedule right now. There's no way they're going to put it Eastern Standard Time, I don't think.
Yeah.
Drew with a hot take. Move the Super Bowl to a Saturday night.
They won't do that. That would be great for the fans, but for the people that want money, that would not work.
Just listen to everybody else's week 3 in the preseason. So you got Bears Chiefs. That's not that far. Colts Bengals. That's a bus drive. Jaguars Falcons. That's potentially a bus drive.
Yeah.
Dolphins Bucks. Bus drive. Niners Raiders. They're pretty close to each other.
Right.
Be careful, dogs. Then you have Browns Seahawks. That's all the way across the country. Panthers Bills. East Coast. Ravens Packers. That's Chargers Cowboys. Rams Texans. Vikings Eagles. Steelers Lions. Giants Jets. Literally in the same stadium. Titans Saints. Cardinals, Broncos, and Patriots and Commanders.
So
we are
that
the literal farthest one.
That Ravens Packers, is that Ravens at Green Bay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a time change isn't still anything as drastic as
Right.
Cleveland, and
Buddy, it'll be snowing there anyways.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's gonna start snowing immediately in August. But you know what? You know what? Now that I think about it, I didn't think about it that I didn't think that it was that big of a deal, Blake, until you brought it up and really brought it to my attention. That is kind of crazy. A 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Like, that's gotta be that can't. But I'm looking at the schedule now on ESPN, and all of these times have got to be Eastern Standard Time.
It's
Like,
it's just what I heard. I don't know if it's
Yeah, I don't
100%.
think they would. I don't think they would throw it out there as a West Coast time, because none of these are really West Coast time. Even the games that we do play in Central, in Central Time and stuff like that. So like, it looks like it might be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would which would be a little bit better, but still, I mean, you're getting.
But, I
on
mean,
3
you also still get that week in between, so I mean, it's not really going to be that
right.
big.
As long as they're not throwing, I don't think they're going to be throwing Sean out there anytime soon. And like,
No.
truthfully, what I absolutely love about our schedule is out of the first, like, going slightly back to, going seeping into a little bit of the regular season, out of the first 6 games, I believe 4 of them are NFC. Like, you wanna win those games, obviously, but I'm glad that the first game of the season, we're trying to stack up wins anywhere we can get them.
Right.
But when you're talking about tiebreakers and things like that in the AFC and being in a battle with some of those middle tier teams down the road when everybody's about 9-6 or 10-5 or whatever, that toward the end of the season where they have a couple of weeks left, you don't want to run into a situation where you're like we were 2 or 3 years ago when we had like a 4 or 5 way tie with like the Colts and the Raiders and Chargers, and they beat us, but we beat somebody they didn't beat. Like, start off the year with Dallas at home at 425. It's a battle tested team. You get the Michael Parsons with the David Njoku, right? I mean, they've been chatting back and forth all off season, and Michael Parsons been saying some crazy stuff about the city of Cleveland and just Cleveland's Cleveland and all this other stuff, like sneak this and kind of stuff.
He set him up, bro.
He set him up. He set him up real nice. And if that was the case, I don't know. But whether it was the case or not, that Michael Parsons knew that they were playing week 1, they set it up pretty nice, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that game, you can just go ahead. If the money line's already out, go ahead and bet the Browns.
It's even.
Njoku. It's even. Go ahead and bet the Browns.
Yep.
Bet Njoku 70 yards
Yeah.
and a touchdown. That boy's going off.
On ESPN bet, it's Dallas -1, 43.5 total, and it's even money line.
Solid.
I'm not really. I think Kevin Stefanski is such a fantastic head coach. We all know how good he is on scheming up opening drives, and so giving him a full off season of game planning for you know what I mean. I think usually for the past couple of seasons, I feel like we've won our first game. Is that correct?
Yep. Best.
I feel like going back to Cade York in Carolina.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row we won week 1.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've been pretty close, but we're as Browns fans, we're getting kind of comfortable with being 1-0. I think as you're going down the schedule, we haven't been 2-0
Yeah.
all time, but we've been 1-0. So we're looking forward to being potentially 2-0. But before we move on to Jacksonville, is anybody kind of concerned with Dallas, with Cowboys?
So what do you guys
Okay.
think? Like win or loss before we?
Move on to about this game.
Week
Yeah,
1.
before we. Yeah,
think-
like give the answer and then go into about the game. We're gonna see where we all sit at. I got a
Go
little
ahead, Jake.
chart.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake. Yeah.
I think win one because we're one of the best teams at home, and Dallas is one of the worst teams on the road. Not to mention they're still trying to add some new pieces, figure themselves out, and we have the majority of our team and our bulk back. So I think we win that game. So count me in.
W. Okay, Blake. Let's hear it.
I know we just talked about Kevin being like hot out of the gate, usually first drive and stuff. I think this time it'll be a little bit different just because of Ken Dorsey and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, dude, every single good opponent we have this year is at home, and we are so good at home. Like, I just don't think Dallas is as good as they are like saying they are. And
They ain't them
obviously
boys.
we got something to prove, but I think the dog pound comes in, makes a big difference. I think we get the dub, but it's going to be close. It's going to be a real close game.
Yeah, I think the dog pound's going to have a huge part in it.
Yeah.
Like Manny said earlier, I mean, Michael Parsons been talking that jaw on the Browns. Bro, he's gonna find out about Cleveland.
You know what happens when a team starts talking crap about the Browns?
When they start saying Cleveland is Cleveland.
It doesn't go in their favor.
No.
True.
No, they get that chip on their shoulder and then they go crazy.
Agreed.
Yep. So we'll just wait on Manny. I guess he's getting that dog calmed down. So week 2, Jacksonville. It's at Jacksonville.
Yep.
T-Law. I mean, that wide receiver in core is starting to look a little thin. I mean, after losing Calvin Ridley and Zay Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking a little thin for old T-Law there.
Yep.
So, what are you guys thinking there?
You first, Blake.
You got it, Jake.
Oh,
Yeah, you got it.
okay. Well, Jacksonville's on the road. Of course, we're still trying to figure ourselves out on the road, and Jacksonville plays their best football at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really chalk that down as a guaranteed win, although, yeah, you are right. Jacksonville's still got some empty holes that they're going to try to figure out moving on. But it's not a guaranteed. I don't really want to say win or loss just yet because
But you got to.
I do.
You have to.
I'm biased and say win because obviously we're fans. But defense is going to have to figure themselves out on the road. That's going to be a prime opportunity to kind of make a statement and say, hey, let's stop Trevor Lawrence right off the bat in a road game. So I'll say win.
Solid. But
Boys, we haven't been 2-0 since 1993. That is absurd.
too long.
Absurd. I did not exist. I was developing in my dad's hoo-has. But
The Nougats.
the Nougats, yeah. I think Jacksonville is way overhyped. I know they got some new faces, but I just don't think Trevor Lawrence is as good as everybody thinks he is. They always do this every year. Like, they hype him up. He plays pretty good, and then he just goes flat.
Yeah.
Like, we have the better team. Like, a lot of these games, we have the better team. It should be a win. This could be one of those games we lose, but as a fan, I'm obviously going to say we win. I really want to be 2-0 for the first time in 29 years.
Yeah, that would be super nice. Jacksonville's like Miami in the sense they play super solid football at the beginning of the season. So this was a game I wish we would have in November, December. But for fans, it's going to be nice weather, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, MC brought up a good point, though. He said it was middle of hurricane season. So, I mean, Jacksonville is right on the ocean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, could get some ugly weather that week. But like you said, Blake T-Law is one of the most overhyped quarterbacks in the league. Did you chalk that up as a W or an L?
It's a W.
W.
It should be. There's a lot of should be W's on this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There always is, too. I think it's a W as well. I think that, like you said, the motivation to go 2-0 for the first time in over 30 years. I think that's going to be a game that Nick Chubb or whoever the running back is that starts that game is going to eat because – go ahead.
Do we think Nick Chubb's coming back week 1?
I doubt it.
I think he'll be there. I think he'll be on a pitch count, though.
Really?
If he is. Yeah.
I think they're gonna hold him out till the division.
That's what I would think.
Against Cincy?
Yeah.
7?
Like Cincy or is that Baltimore at home?
Both are at home, yeah.
Both of them home? Yeah, they're definitely bringing a home game in the division.
Yeah, I would
think
7-2 because you got Cincy, Baltimore, and the Chargers, all 3 in a row, and that's going to be perfect Chubb time.
I like it, Chubb time.
But you got to start those first 6 games at least 4-2.
Agreed.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Preferably 5-1.
It could potentially be 6-0 if they are dialed in.
But Nick Chubb's Nick Chubb though. I mean, he rehabs at the like 3 times the recovery of a normal human.
That is true too.
Yeah.
So
Like I've torn my knee, but not as bad as Nick. But like, I don't know. It's going to be a weird feeling him because he's running in a straight line, but we got to see him cut.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got to see him jump cut and all sorts of stuff because who knows, he might be one of those guys that won't be able to move in a knee brace. Like when I had to practice in a knee brace, I took it off in 4 weeks because I just couldn't move the same.
Yeah.
But
I get that. But going back to Jacksonville, I think that we do. I think we get that W there. I just think that that's going to be one of them games. It's going to be like, hey, look at who we beat type of game.
Yeah.
Like, we just walked up in your crib and beat you. Because I think we're going to win that game pretty handily. And I think that'll be the Jerry Jeudy game. I know it's way too early to be saying that. Like, there's still a long time. But I think that'll be the Jerry Jeudy game. Because I feel like it's always week 2 when we get that new, like, wide receiver. Like, okay, here he is. That's our dude right there. So, because, like, if you go look back at it, Jarvis Landry, I mean, he had a good week 1 game against Pittsburgh back in 18. And 19, Odell, his really good game, week 2 at the Jets. So, and then Amari Cooper, same thing, but it was at home. I think that's how it'll go again with Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
But moving forward,
I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous that they're gonna beat Dallas and they're gonna be all cocky and stuff and let this one get away from them. Mm-hmm. But if Kevin Stefanski just gets on them, I think they'll be okay. But I don't want them to be too high on their horse and
fall off,
mess up that game.
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right, Manny. Let's hear it about the week 1 Dallas game. You got a win or a loss?
So sorry, my dog is going crazy. But so I have a week 1 win versus Dallas. I love what Jake was saying about how well we do at home. I'm giving a full offseason of Kevin Stefanski drawing up plays, not only for the first drive, but for the entire game. I totally think that that's going to be a well-scripted game. You're not going to see anything. You're going to see 1 or 2 flash plays, but for the most part, it's going to be very methodical. I think it's going to be very scripted in a way, but it's going to be a good resounding win for week 1 at home. But to catch up with you guys at Jacksonville at 1 p.m., man, this is a tough one. I can see us losing a game like this. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is that bad as like people kind of saw him fizzle out toward the end. That was more so due to injury. But so I think that's gonna be I'm gonna squeak out a win there. It's gonna be a very disgusting win, I think. But I think we're gonna squeeze out a win, so we'll start 2-0.
2-0, okay. Week 3 versus the Giants.
Who wants to go first on that one?
I can go first. I ended with Jacksonville. I can start with New York. So let's pretend that
pretend they're demons.
Let's
pretend they're actually releasing lines on the field.
Yes. I think the Giants might be one of those teams. I mean, they drafted Malik Nabers, right? I think Malik Nabers is going to be technically in his 3rd game now. Daniel Jones, you think will be a little bit healthy. They have no Saquon. That'll be very interesting. They have Devin Singletary. Your boy from Kentucky, Wan'Dale Robinson, Christian's gonna be in his 2nd year. So I was gonna make a joke about Darren Waller being a single guy again, being not married. I don't know what he did to get divorced to Kelsey Plum, but anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna bring that up. But listen, that could be a surprising one, and I almost want to say we're gonna lose that game simply because I don't think we're gonna start off 3-0. So maybe, but it's so bad. But we are gonna be at home for that. So I do believe that this might be. I think that this might be 3-0. I hate to be a fan like that, but I don't see it, man. Dexter Lawrence, is that Kayvon Thibodeau, is that who we're supposed to be really concerned with on
Brian
defense?
Burns.
Brian Burns, that's a new acquisition as well. So it's like looking at this roster here. I mean, unless I do see the Cordell Flott. This is Cordell Flott's second year, I think. Jalen Mills they did acquire as well, so a strong safety. But we'll see. I think we'll be 3-0 at this point.
Okay. Bet you, Jake.
I want to be 3-0. Out of those first 3 games, we easily have the to go 3-0. You know how the NFL works. You see games that you're like, we should win this easily, and we somehow lose. I remember the Giants had won Super Bowl 42, and we played them week 2 of the season the very next year, and we thought they were going to murder us, and we murdered them. This could be the exact opposite. Do I think it will? No. But it very well could. This could be the embarrassing game to where on Twitter the very next day, people are dogging us because we lost to Daniel Jones and Devin Singletary. Now, I'm not saying that'll happen. I think we win, but that's one of those, what do they call it, trap game?
Yeah.
I think that's a trap game. Would you guys?
That's too early. That's too early for a trap game.
That's a trappy game. That's a trap game.
You think so, Blake?
Yeah, dude. The Giants are so butt. They're butt. Oh,
See,
man.
I just don't see them filling that one out as a trap game. I think that the Giants just have that, like, aurora
It is if you start 2-0.
Yeah, no, but still, I think that they'll want to push for at 3-0. So I don't think that'll be the game that they go into kind of like overlooking it.
Yeah.
Which I don't think teams overlook other teams in the NFL as much because, I mean, they are all professionals. I think they win this game.
They should.
I think they do. I think they'll just go into that because they'll want that 3-0. And I think that this year they're going to have a different mentality to them, more say, or whatever, however you want to say that.
Sure.
But, like, I think that they're going to take each game seriously because I think that they're pushing for a bigger goal. So I think that they still beat the Giants.
Okay. That's
so
fair.
Did you have a winner or loss for it, Jake?
Oh, win. I'm going to say win because we are the far better team. I never really like to call another team bad, especially in the NFL.
Yeah.
But the gap between us and New York, though, with all due respect, we've got the way better talent from top to bottom. It's just, I don't even feel like it's close right now. So we should easily win that game. But you know how that works in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. So how about you, Blake? Win or loss?
Well, this day will be pretty cool. My fiance decided to make this the day of our wedding, so I'll be watching it on my phone, getting
Congratulations.
ready. Yeah, congrats, Brad.
I'll be literally sitting there getting my tux on, watching this game. She wants to start at like 4:00, 4:15. So I might miss the last like 5 minutes of the game, I'd say. So I'm hoping it's an easy win. I'm hoping we're up by a few scores. I don't have to stress about it and somebody in the crowd saying we're good or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, win or loss, Blake?
That's a dub.
It's a W. Okay.
I just don't see Danny Dimes being able to No, I don't see him being able to do anything with that defense line coming at him.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Do you think that that's a trap game, man?
I do think
What the Giants?
Yeah. Do you think that's a trap game?
I think that it's hard to say. It's hard to say no to that. I feel like
See, if we're gonna go with the typical trap game, I'm gonna say it's Week 5 versus Washington, because usually on the other side of a trap game, there is just like this juggernaut opponent that you're looking forward to playing. If you're a good team, it's kind of like, as a Kentucky fan, we always hype up the
you're
Georgia
looking
game.
ahead.
Yeah, like we're just like praying that Georgia's looking ahead to the next week and overlooking Kentucky. I mean, it never happens, but like, see, that's what I think the Washington game is, because you got Philadelphia the very next week at Philly.
you know why I consider the next game we're gonna preview. I think that's the actual trap game, and the reason I'm saying trap game, what classifies as a trap game for me is a game that has some serious implications if you lose. Like now Las Vegas. Sorry, I keep saying Oakland. I keep wanting to say Oakland. But Las Vegas, that's an AFC team, and so when you're looking at Washington, when you're looking at Philadelphia, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, should we beat Washington? Maybe. Do we beat Washington? We do beat Washington now, and Deshaun loves Washington. Like, that was one of his best games, tearing up that defense. So it's like, and at the time, they were one of the top 10 defenses statistically in the NFL when we beat them with Deshaun. But it's like, hey, not that I don't care if we lose that game, but it's like NFC. And then when we were playing Philly, obviously we're playing near my hometown, and most of my family are Eagles fans. But again, it's NFC. It's like, okay, all right, what are you gonna? Las Vegas is a team that you really want to beat, and I think, and if we slowly transition into that week, I think that's going to be our first L on my schedule. I'm looking at this team. We don't even know what the heck is going on with Las Vegas. Is it Aiden O'Connell or is it Gardner Minshew? Right?
That defense is going to be gross.
It is going to be so weird. But then they loaded up on tight end. This is a Harrison Bryant revenge game. Harrison Bryant is tight end 3 over there. They drafted Michael Mayer from Notre Dame last year. They drafted Brock Bowers, who's a stud, who's going to be dirty in the league, from Georgia this year. So they got tight ends galore over there. They still have Devontae Adams. They acquired Jacoby Myers. Zamir White, rookie, we don't know. Alexander Mattison from Minnesota, who was backing up Dalvin Cook at a point. They just acquired Christian Wilkins from Miami. So it's like, to pair up with Max Crosby on the defensive line, this could be a nice little kind of throw together kind of football team. I don't even know what we're looking at when we're talking about Las Vegas. That's why I'm saying it's a trap game, is because you're like, I don't even know. It could be tight ends cutting us up in the linebacker, like in the middle of the field right there. That's why I'm thinking it's just going to be Brock Bowers with like 7 receptions and Michael Mayer with 5 receptions. Both of them go over 80 yards and a tutty for both of them. So that's how I view that game. I think that's going to be our trap game. We're going to lose to Oakland. We're going to be mad about it later on because we're like, bro, everybody's beating. Dang it, I keep saying Oakland. I don't even know why. They've been Las Vegas for a minute now. So, but everybody's beating Las Vegas, but we're going to be mad because we lost to Las Vegas. Yeah. So I think we're going to be 3-1 at that point for my schedule.
Could be.
Yeah, I agree on that. That's where I had my first loss. And it's not even really due to the talent on the Raiders. I think the Browns are going to go out there, and it's going to be a little bit of, people are going to be kind of questioning, is this going to be another 2023 where we just suck on the road? Because I think they're all going to go out there and enjoy a little bit of that Vegas lifestyle the night before.
Could be.
So, this is the first time ever that the Browns will play in Las Vegas.
Yep.
It's crazy.
In that nice new stadium.
Yeah.
Come on now. I mean, we're going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit. And a fun fact too, the highest ticket sales regular season for a single game out of all the NFL games this season is Pittsburgh at Las Vegas. So when the Steelers play the Raiders, that's going to be for the highest average ticket sales. So people love that stadium. It's expensive. It's a great venue. Hopefully the defense travels. And I just realized they also have Michael Gallup as well. I didn't even realize they're just picking up a bunch of random pieces trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
And
Plus, Devontae Adams.
Let's not forget, we are not the greatest team on the West Coast. We just seem to struggle every time we hit the West Coast in some respect. We lost to Los Angeles last year. We lost to Seattle last year. 1 year we should have destroyed the Cardinals and somehow lost that game. San Francisco manhandled us on a Monday night game. We just have the worst luck on the West Coast. So,
yeah,
maybe that curse will break that game. Who knows? I hope it does.
So, Jake, you got a win or a loss?
I'll probably just join the bandwagon this one and say loss. My heart says win, but my mind says loss. I still think we do have the far beyond better team, but that's just not how the NFL works. We are always do a bad game, as every other team in the NFL is. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah. How about you, Blake?
Win.
Oh,
4-0.
Check you out, Blake.
I'm just hype. I think we're finally gonna open some people's eyes. Like finally.
Okay. Heck yeah.
Blake's right.
Okay. So right now it's me at 3-1, Manny at 3-1, Jake at 3-1, and Blake at 4-0. I like it. Hope you're right, Blake. Okay, week 5, we travel to Washington. Oh, that's a haul from Vegas to Washington. Yeah. Jeez. So, what are we thinking on that one, boys?
So this also is another interesting game, right? I mean, you're talking about Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback. I wonder what Jim Schwartz can do with a rookie quarterback, but I'm also fully aware that they did acquire Austin Eckler, running back from the Chargers. Extremely big threat when it comes to throwing the football. He's a pass catching kind of back. I don't know. It really is kind of predicated on. I mean, they signed old man Zach Ertz, so I don't even know what that's about, to be honest with you. Farewell tour for him, playing back in the NFC East. But again, they did draft Luke McCaffrey as well, so it is kind of predicated on what we're seeing out of Luke McCaffrey. Maybe have a little 3-headed monster in Washington for Jaden Daniels with Jahan Dotson and Scary Terry. It's at Washington. That's a dub. Let's be real. I mean, we're very comfortable when we're playing in DC. Deshaun's very comfortable. I think he's going to look at a lot of the. He was extremely efficient the last time he played them. Now, granted, that is 2 years ago. I get it. At that point, right? It's basically going to be 2 years ago. But I think that the confidence that Deshaun's going to have facing an opponent that he's already faced in the Browns jersey at the same venue, I think it's FedEx Field. So I think that's going to be a dub. I think we'll be 4-1 after that.
Agree.
Okay.
Yeah, well said. I would agree with him. Deshaun did have his breakout game. That was the first game that he really showed out as a Cleveland Brown. I think Washington's going to try and throw Jaden Daniels out there, and we're just going to manhandle him. I don't know that he's going to have the success this early that Washington wants him to have. If we played Washington week 14, week 15, maybe, but I don't know that he's going to go out and ball this early. Who is the head coach for Washington now? I have forgotten his name.
Dan Quinn.
Ah, that's right.
From Atlanta?
Yeah.
Dan Quinn from Atlanta?
From the
From
Cowboys.
Dallas.
That's right.
That defense is going to take a hit too, bro. For Dallas.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Commanders. I forgot the Commanders got Bobby Wagner too.
I know that Dan Quinn's
and Jeremy Chin
ready this early. I mean, yeah, he had that success in Atlanta, but I think a large part of that success was due to having Matt Ryan as a vet, and of course Kyle Shanahan being a genius. So it's going to take Dan Quinn a bit, and I think we take advantage of that inexperience of Washington and win.
I like it. What about you, Blake?
We're going 5-0, boys.
Let's go.
5-0.
I love it. I love the
man,
energy.
we're gonna be so high on our horses going into Philly. Philly's gonna be intense. I hope I get to go to that game. Oh my god, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. See, I agree with you guys. I think we're gonna win that game. And I think it's gonna be more of a defensive game for us. I think that's just gonna be one of them games. Our defense just goes in there and clobbers them, just due to the inexperience of Jaden Daniels. I think he'll have a good second half, but it won't be enough to overcome. And I just think that's gonna be one of them statement wins. Like they're like, don't put a sucky team against us type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So right now I got us 4-1, Manny's 4-1, Jake's 4-1, Blake's 5-0. So then we head to the Juggernaut in Philly. How do we feel about that one, boys?
So I have been saying this since I sniffed the possibility of the Browns playing at Philadelphia. This is a big statement. And maybe this is a fan inside of me, but I think that this is the Super Bowl preview. Truthfully.
Oh.
Like this is the Super Bowl preview. Regardless of all the outside noise, I think if you really look at it on paper, the Eagles with Saquon Barkley in his own division, with an offensive line. Now they don't have Jason Kelce. I think Jason Kelce might come back personally. There's a lot of whispers over here in Philadelphia that he might come back after a couple of games announcing. He will be announcing, I think, the week 2 game for Philadelphia on Monday night. But you look up and down this roster for Philadelphia. I mean, they are a Super Bowl team. And they're surrounding Jalen Hurts with as much weapons as he could possibly get. I do believe that this is going to be an L. That we're going to be 4-2. We're playing in Philadelphia. I want more than anything. I'm going to be at this game. I'm going to try my hardest. I got to go. I got to sprint after church. It's a 45-minute drive to the stadium, but I'm gonna try to sprint right to that game, even if I got to be late. I don't care. But I think this is going to be an L. But I think we're going to look at this as a we can keep up with the big boys kind of situation. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to walk away from this game and saying, you know what, I like this. I kind of like how this outcome was. It's going to be a great game to watch, but we're going to learn a lot about ourselves. We're going to be 4-2 after this game, but we're going to learn a lot about ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. But you, Jake?
Well, it's hard to say because you don't know which Philly you're going to play. If you play the Philly that was 10-0 to start out the season last year, it's a loss. If you play the Philly that couldn't throw the ball in the ocean the last few weeks of the season, it's an easy W. So this is very hard to gauge. I mean, we still struggle on the road, and we've not been able to prove that we can play on the road. So that would be my most important reason for a loss. But I will make another prediction. By that point, week 6, I think there will be one team in the NFL that is undefeated by that point after 6 games. And that one team will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Other than them, I don't think there will be any undefeated teams in the NFL.
The Chargers?
What?
See, okay.
We got to get to that.
Because Jim Harbaugh is going to transform that team like nobody has ever seen. You just watch.
Okay.
And you look
Okay.
at the Chargers' schedule to start out the season. They've got the Raiders. They've got the Panthers. They've got Pitt on the road, which could be a loss because it is on the road. And then they got the Chiefs at home. They're going to shock a lot of people. That's going to be your shocker team because you see what Harbaugh did with the San Francisco 49ers years back. They were 5-11, and in one season he took them 13-3 with the same exact roster. So, and I'm not saying the Chargers are going to go 17-0, but I'm talking about at that point in the season. The Pittsburgh game is the only game that I think that they could possibly lose, and that's only because it's on the road. It's on the road, and it will be in a different time zone. That would be the one thing the Steelers have going for them. But the Panthers are still struggling. I don't know that the Raiders have the firepower to beat Los Angeles on the road, and the Chiefs usually struggle against the Chargers on the road, even though the Chargers have lost to them repetitively. But I think with a different coaching staff, you're going to see a completely different Chargers team at that point. They're going to start out hot.
I don't.
I know.
Who's going to catch the rock?
I was trying to. I need to see who your wide receivers are.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the thing with Jim Harbaugh. He can just put just about anybody out there almost, and get the job done. Which now, this could blow up in my face, and Jim Harbaugh still try to get used to the professional system from years back. It's different from.
I think he's.
Niners. I could be dead wrong on that.
I think he has a good quarterback in Herbert. I think their defense is decent. I just don't think they brought in enough people to be competitive this year.
Yeah, no, you bring in the whole Baltimore Ravens running back room with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. I mean, you I don't know what the point there was, but Joshua Palmer, Quentin Johnson, and Ladd McConkey are your wide receivers that Justin Herbert's supposed to go in there and be 6-0 with. Like
I don't see it.
I don't see. I don't see. And Joe Alt. You know what I mean? You better. Joe Alt better be able to block two guys at one time. I mean, I don't. I think
they
the Chargers.
got Rashawn Slater. They got a decent O-line.
Yeah, Well, yeah. Shout out to Rashawn Slater because he was. I think he was the best rookie tackle, right? I think did he win? Did he win?
A few years ago, I think.
I think he was a Pro Bowler his rookie year. I think he was a Pro Bowler. But they're gonna have a nicer offensive line. But who you're throwing the ball to and who you're handing the ball off to. I mean,
those are your two holes.
Yeah. But going back to week 6, what are you thinking, Blake? You think it's a dub or an L?
Well, this is going to be a game of 4-0 versus 5-0. And if you heard that right, the Eagles will have a bye week right before they play us.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
They played the Packers, Falcons, Saints, Bucks, bye week, then us.
Ooh, I didn't know that. I thought
the Browns have not beaten Philly in Philly since 1994.
Ooh.
The year I was born.
This is going to be our first L.
Yeah, that I think. Did we all say L for that one?
No, I haven't. But I would like to agree, and I'd like to disagree with all of you. Here's why. I think Philly's going to come in with a hot head. I think they're the best in the league, and I think Kevin Stefanski is going to give him a little dice roll, throw it at him, and walk out with a W. Because I don't think Nick Sirianni is going to have it cooked up for this Browns defense. Because I think MJ Emerson, Denzel Ward, and Greg Newsome are going to have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith locked down. And I don't think the tush push is going to be as effective on us as most teams. So
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
will say, like, this is a Andrew Berry revenge game. This is a Kevin Stefanski, like, home game for him. But, like, I don't know. It's just the Eagles at home. The Link is very hard to win at. Very
Yeah.
hard.
But I think this is the game that the Browns have to prove it. They got to prove
They
that
do.
they are Super Bowl contenders because nobody takes the Browns seriously. Like, even after last year, after all the adversity, nobody's coming into this year saying the Browns are even going to be a playoff team. Most people have us going like 9-8, 8-9. Like, they have us regressing from last year.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have a harder schedule this year. We got the hardest in the league. But I do think that they walk in there and they're going to be like, it don't matter. We can play anywhere you want to. This is our game.
As much as I wanted us to start 6-0, my brain is like, I just can't put mine at 6-0.
Yeah.
And I really want to.
Mhm.
Like,
Okay. And then the next week, Cincinnati. The River Cats are coming up. Joe Burr.
You know, when at one of these days, Joe Burrow is 1-5 versus the Browns, and it feels, I don't know about you guys, but it feels almost like fake about how we're not okay versus the Bengals, and we haven't been beating them in close game. We like really beat the Bengals. Like we really beat Joe Burrow. When we beat Joe Burrow, we really beat Joe Burrow. Like it's gotta be psychological at this point. And so Cincinnati could be at this point of the season, they could be 5-1. They could be 4-2. But going into Cleveland, you gotta know that it's psychological. You gotta know they tried their best to bolster up that offensive line. I think they just drafted, who they just get?
They picked up Trent Brown.
Picked up Trent Brown, right, and quarter, right. So they have the Twin Towers basically on either side of the tackles, right. So they're both 6'8". Jermaine Burton, that's the other wide receiver that's the wide receiver that they drafted. They were replacing.
They got Gosecki.
They got Gasecki as well. So
Sheldon Rankins.
Who's their new? Oh wait, no, never mind. Their head coach calls their plays, don't they?
yeah,
Yeah,
Zach Taylor calls those plays. But I
Go
what are you gonna
ahead,
say? Oh no.
Manny.
No. That's okay. What is his name? What's that running back that they had last year? What's his name? Milton Mixon, Joe Nixon. What's his name? I don't know. Right, that guy who ran all over us.
Brown.
Right. Now, well, they got Zach Moss as well. Right, they got Zach Moss as well. So it's like I really don't care about Cincinnati at all. I don't care about them, bro. What are they? Show me. You show me an instance in which I should be caring about them. Joe Burrow has not won a game in Cleveland. Has not beaten the Browns in Cleveland. So talk to me. What am I worried about? We're 5-2 after this week. I don't even need to go through the roster.
I still don't know if he can throw the football good enough.
That thumb, that wrist.
That little wristy wrist.
Is that little wrist? Them tiny little wrists, man. I'm telling you, you can cover up with wristbands and little rubber bands if you want to. All them little rubber bands he'd be wearing. You look, that won't help you. That's a dub. We're 5-2.
Those videos are nice. Like, yeah, he's throwing, but dude, if you like zoom in on a ball, it's quite a bit wobbly. It's not a tight spiral. Not a tight spiral like it usually is.
Yeah. So, what we feeling, boys? Like win, loss?
I mean,
that's a win. It's a win. It's a win. It's a win. It's a win.
Okay.
That's a win. That's a win. We're 5-2.
It's a W from Blake. Okay, Jake.
thanks and won, baby.
Let's hear it, Jake.
oh yeah, win. Yeah.
Win. Okay. So I think we all got wins. Miles Garrett's gonna put the media darling back in his bed where the children belong. So Yep, that's another win. So I've got us at 6-1. Manny's at 5-2. Jake's at 5-2. Blake's at 6-1. Baltimore comes to town. I hate that because I think that's when we get our second loss. Did I look at that right?
That's an L. I mean that by
A lot of people, man.
Look, man. Y'all remember the last time Baltimore came to Cleveland on something nasty?
But I
something
mean,
nasty, KFC.
we threw your boy DTR out there, man.
True, on like 5 minutes notice, right? They asked DTR to be a hot pocket, basically. You know what I mean? They wanted to throw that bad boy in there for 2 minutes, you know what I mean? A medium high heat and try to get the center all warm and toasty, but it was still a little frozen. You know how hot pockets go. So I mean, look, I don't blame DTR. It was thawed out. You got to thaw it out a little bit. You know what I mean? You got to cut open the center with a little bit of knife and let some of that air come out. But
we didn't have Chubb. Bro.
We didn't have Chubb. So it was a little nasty. I get it. But La Margarita, man, there's something about La Margarita versus the Browns, man. There's something about La Margarita. Look, well, I will say, what game do we always go back to last year and say Deshaun Watson was cooking before the injury, right? 14 for 14, the final drive, cutting them up, something dirty. It's Baltimore in Baltimore, baby, on a big game. So this could. Nah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. We're losing this game, man. We're losing.
See, I don't think it's gonna be a beatdown though. I think it'll be like a 28 to 24 game, like one of them.
It's not even gonna be that high. It's gonna be something nasty, like 13-10. That's what I think.
Nah.
Them defenses, KFC, them defenses are nasty.
Yeah, but look at the game that we won, bro. It was 33 to 31.
Yeah, because I think look.
Like, okay, you talking about nasty defenses. You can add pick sixes in there, bro. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 pick sixes that game.
Oh shoot, you're so right.
There'll be a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, there could be a little something. Plus
those kickoffs, those new kickoff rule, bro. Teams will be scoring a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, not us. Who the heck are we? Who the heck are we?
Bro, we got Nyheim Hines.
Bro,
back here, bro.
Listen, man. I wish I had Jakeem Grant, bro. I wish we saw Jakeem Grant in this situation, but
Nyheim Hines, bro. He's
been
popping
both of his ACLs. So, yeah.
Okay, so Jake, where you got us at week 8?
I'm going win on that one. I think we beat Baltimore.
What?
Okay.
Beat them in Cleveland. I think we beat them in Cleveland. It's going to be the reverse. I think. Well, I don't want to say reverse yet. We're going to beat them because really, Deshaun Watson has had one real game against Baltimore since he's came to Cleveland. Correct? He's had one actual game.
2. We were there. Oh, in Cleveland?
2. Well.
In Cleveland, yeah, that was the only one.
There, which Lamar didn't play that game, and Baltimore did have a lot of significant injuries, so I guess I kind of don't count that one. But, yeah, you could say 2, 1.5 maybe. So, yeah, Christian's right. But I think this will be his first game, assuming Baltimore is fully healthy, where it's Deshaun playing against Lamar. And I think you've got Nick Chubb in this game. If he doesn't start week 7, he for sure starts week 8. And matchup to matchup, I think we have the better roster because Baltimore has lost some key components from last year. They're not going to be the team that they were last year. They're just not. So I think we win this game.
Okay. But you, Blake?
This is a dub, boys. Baltimore's going to try to run this rock like 40 times this game. It's just going to be read option with Lamar and Derrick Henry all day long. They're going to stuff it because the receivers are garbage. The defense is garbage. Half their defense went away. Their young DC went to Seattle. They're like, man, screw this crap. I mean, they lost Clowney. They lost Patrick Queen. They signed that one guy on a major contract. Like they're not even going to be able to pay anyone else. Yeah, Matabuke or whatever the heck his name is. Nick Chubb. This should be a Nick Chubb week 2 for him. He should be ready to go. We didn't even mention that for Cincy. Like he's going to come out and they're going to be like, number 24, Nick Chubb. And since he's going to be like, their white pants are going to be yellow from pissing themselves.
And a brown streak.
Oh my gosh.
Disgusting.
Oh man,
Disgusting.
It's going to be nice back-to-back division wins. We're going to be feeling ourselves.
Heck yeah. And then, week 9, the Chargers rolling into town. So.
We never do good against the Chargers.
I don't think I seen the the Chargers. I bet the Chargers love playing us because they just slip through the cracks like Jello and just seem
Except on
somehow
Christmas
win.
Eve.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Wasn't it that one crazy game like 2 years ago versus Jameis Winston, or not Jameis Winston versus Jacoby Brissett or something like that, and like Justin Herbert threw for like 450 yards and they walked us down.
No, bro. Listen, I was at that game. That's the only loss I've ever saw, bro. So Justin Herbert, MJ Emerson stopped a pass on 4th down,
right,
and then Cade York shanked the game-winning field goal, to the right, but. Bro, Austin Eckler had just an insane game. He averaged I think it was 12 or 13 yards a carry. He broke off 2 60-yarders that game. It was insane.
It was a great day for fantasy football.
But Chubb went off that game too.
Also true.
But so, what are we thinking, boys? Win or loss?
I'll go. I mean, dude, the last 2 games have been decided by 5 points or less, and we haven't beat them since the missed field goal for us to get 1-15 on the year in 2016. That was the 17-20 game in Cleveland. I mean, I just don't know about it yet because I don't know what Harbaugh's going to do with them. But I don't think they got good enough weapons on the outside to even win something. But Jim Harbaugh is so good at the run game, but I don't know. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of mixed feelings in the room because you have one of the best arm talents in the league, and you're probably going to run the rock 35 times a game. But
probably,
I think we win.
Win. Okay, Jake.
I think this will be the beginning of Los Angeles's meltdown. I think they'll have a super duper hot start this year, and then about week 7, week 8, week 9 is when they kind of hit the crumble period. Let's not forget, this is in November, and typically teams like Los Angeles tend to struggle in the later part of the year when it comes to cold weather games. I think we do win this one as well. Because by this point, I think Los Angeles will be figured out. Kind of like Blake was saying, they'll probably run heavy. And, of course, we have one of the better run defenses now. So I think we win.
Okay. Manny?
This is going to be the lowest average ticket price for the home games for the Cleveland Browns.
Huh.
That's a little fun fact.
So cool.
Listen, Cleveland Browns fans, come on out. The tickets are going to be cheap. Come watch a good win. I mean, this is finally we're going to be able to get one over on Justin Sherbert. So I think that it's going to be an opportunity for you to go home happy. 1:00 game. Go enjoy the rest of the day. Again, tickets are cheap. So that's a dub. We're going to be 6-3 at this point going into the bye.
I feel like this is going to be one of the most expensive seasons to go watch the Browns.
Oh, for sure.
If you don't have season tickets, dude, you better save up your money.
Yeah.
If they go to a hot start, oh my God, they're going to be expensive.
Bro, they'll shoot up $600 for nosebleeds.
The first game where I normally sit is maybe $150 max for me and my buddy.
Yeah.
And a ticket right now where I usually sit is $215 individually.
Crazy. Which they'll go down once it gets closer to the season too.
Yeah,
I think. But
if they start off to a hot start, those division games are going to be nuts. and we have all the good teams on our schedule are basically at home besides Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've also got us winning that, so I've got us at I think 7-2 at this point going into the bye, and then first week back playing Nolans at Nolans.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
So are you guys scared? Are you scared of Derek Carr?
No.
I'm not either.
No,
No, I can't.
look, the Spencer Rattler's
It'll
going to
be
be out there.
dumpster fire down there.
Spencer Rattler's going to be out there by this time. I don't really have very much confidence in New Orleans. Out of the bye week, I think we're a very good football team out of the bye week. I'm not too concerned about it being in an away game. Going to NOLA. I'm kind of looking at this situation, right? So you have old man Alvin Kamara still there, right? I mean, he's old. He's basically washed at this point. Chris Olave is a problem. Cedric Wilson Jr. They acquired him. That's going to be, you know what I mean. Equanimeous St. Brown. I don't know why they acquired him, thinking he's his brother or something like that. But they did just lose a defensive end to a torn Achilles out for the season already. But I don't think he's one of the I don't think he's one of their starters on the opposite side of Cameron Jordan. But I mean,
But that's three of them now. That's in like a recovery process.
Yes. So it's like, you know, and I think Cam Jordan is rehabbing something at the moment. But I think he should be good. I think he should be good for the start of the season.
And Chase Young is too.
And Chase Young. So it's like, where are we? You know, I'm not really. I'm trying to look at their draft picks. They did acquire Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback. So, you know, I mean, obviously you have the Honey Badger still there, but he's getting a little bit up in age. That was his retirement home. Demario Davis is there. Marshawn Lattimore still there. Good defense. You can't. I'm not gonna, you know, make fun of their defense. Let's be real. They're you know, let's be objective. They're a good defense, historically as well.
Yeah.
But that offense is just not doing it for me. I don't think that it's doing it for me. So I think that's going to be a dub. We'll be 7-3.
So what's everybody else thinking?
They got a tough schedule starting out.
What are you thinking, Jake? Win or loss?
There is a part of me, and this will never ever happen, really speaking, but there's a part of me that wants Stefanski to draw up a designed play for Jameis Winston in this game on the road.
They're gonna take a fake knee.
A fake knee, something. Fake crab legs on 3, ready break or something.
Yeah, they call it crab leg, and they have people running the routes like a crab leg.
Just something off the wall. But realistically speaking, the Saints do have an experienced roster, but they've got a lot of players that are just, of course, on the ladder of their career.
So many holes.
Yeah, they do have holes. I agree with Blake. And I don't know that the coaching staff is enough to kind of give them the push to beat Cleveland. I think we win this game. The Saints, I think, are in the toughest part of their season when they get to us. I can't remember exactly. I do know they have one of the easiest strength of schedules, but they could easily be one of those fake teams like the Chargers that have a really, really hot start, and you're like, whoa, where's this coming from? And then they just kind of hit that brick wall. But, I mean, bottom line, Cleveland wins.
Okay, Blake?
I think they win. It's just like I just said, like there are holes, like there's holes and there's uncertainty. Like didn't they lose Ryan Ramczyk last year?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's recovering, and he's getting up there in age. Like they don't have any help for Chris Olave in that wide receiver room at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Rashid Shaheed and Jermaine Jackson is, and then they have like no tight ends. Oh, they got Cedric Wilson. I'm looking at their roster right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if Alvin Kamara can like have another good season, that's the only dude that can beat us is Alvin Kamara. He's he's like that when he's on.
Yeah.
I just think it's gonna be they're gonna be like us, but like obviously not as good. It all depends on how good Derek Carr plays.
Mhm.
But I'm not pushing my chips in for Derek Carr to do anything with them. So I'm gonna take the dub.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna be a little different on this one. I think we lose, and I just think it's just because of the bye week, and I think they're all gonna go down to New Orleans, eat some of that jumbo, and then get full, and then lose.
Now, let's not forget that's the exact city where Super Bowl 59 is going to be. So Stefanski might have this like hype speech saying, "Hey, get you guys ready. This is the place
we'll be back here in February." Yeah.
Do you think they'll go down there early?
They should.
Because it's not really like it's not a West Coast thing where they go early to fix their time, like their sleep schedule and stuff. I feel like they'll just go down the week of the game.
Because, I mean, it's just an hour difference.
Yeah.
If it's where the Super Bowl is going to be, I would get there earlier on purpose to kind of prep yourself and be like, "Hey, boys, this is where we want to be in February."
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Do it that way. But, I mean, I'm not saying that it's a requirement. It's just helpful. So.
Yeah.
So, week 12 versus Pukesburg. Thursday night football.
Man, oh man.
Look, it's going to kill Minkah Fitzpatrick.
It's going to be a short. This is going to be an L. This is going to be. Yeah, man.
Hear me out, bro.
Oh my God!
It's Thursday night football.
On a short week.
Yeah, but we always have short weeks when we play Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski is a dog.
Yeah.
On Thursday night football, I want to see a record. I don't think he's lost maybe one Thursday night game.
We might not even see Russell Wilson here. This might be Justin Fields Steelers.
Good point, Blake.
Right. It depends. It strictly depends on how healthy.
It's gonna be awesome.
There's no team on the schedule. There's no game on the schedule that I am more of 50-50 on than it is, but these two stupid games versus Pittsburgh, because we never beat them in Pittsburgh ever. But I can see, to your guys' point, I can see how we could potentially beat them at home in Cleveland on Thursday night, because that's when Myles Garrett, we all know as Myles Garrett fan, as fans of this team, we know Myles Garrett loves to show up when the lights are the brightest. So that's when he shows up, whatever. But and you're at home, so it's like, you get the flashing light show. You're the only game on, Myles Garrett. So I can see us squeaking out one potentially here. But I don't know. I still, if the L's not here, we know it's going to be in 2 weeks again. But I do want to say a shout out to, not shout out, but more so, it's insane because out of the last 6 games we play, starting with this week, 4 of them are primetime games, and it could be 5 of them are primetime games if the last week of the season is flexed with Baltimore, depending on how that goes.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that it's not flexed, because I'm hoping that it has no playoff implications, because I hope that we're going to be in the playoffs at that point. But again, Thursday night football, then Monday night, we'll talk about it. But if flip flop me, I don't care. Flip flop me for the Steelers game. I'm going to call this a L.
You calling it L, dude? Kevin Stefanski's not lost a Thursday night game.
Kevin Stefanski has his pre-game speeches written up for the whole year. There's so many games where he has to have one hell of a speech to get this team pumped up. If they don't get pumped up for this game, I don't know.
A revenge game, yeah.
I don't know how they're not going to for any other game.
I'll put it this way.
Oh my gosh, it's so important to just kick their ass.
The last thing I'll say, and I'll let you guys have it, is if we do win this game, then we're losing in 2 weeks when we go to Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
Right. I mean, because we lose this game and then we finally beat them in Pittsburgh, or we win this game and then we lose in Pittsburgh. I don't think we're sweeping them. So that's what I really want to say is just toss up, right? Whatever I say now is just the opposite.
Yeah.
So the rest of us got W's.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime we play Pitt, we beat them in Cleveland. They beat us in Pitt. That's how it usually goes. And of course, for the viewers on the show that watch this show a lot, when Christian and his crew was chanting Pittsburgh sucks, that was a Thursday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Manny, you were there.
Yes, I was there. I was present. This Thursday night could be another Down with the Browns meetup because it's Thursday night, so I can make a travel over to Cleveland. We'll see.
Wait, I think actually. Wait, when is that day?
That's
like a few days before my birthday, bro.
Ooh, a little KFC birthday bash in Cleveland on Thursday night on Prime Video.
Ooh.
The last time the Browns have swept the Steelers was 1988.
Good Lord, bro. Good Lord.
It's not happening. It's just not.
This is not happening. But you're saying we'll start off with a win.
No.
Yes.
Right, on Thursday night.
Okay. And then we go about 10 days without playing football. We played the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football.
I don't know why the heck. I'm going to be quick. That's a W. I don't know why the heck they gave us a freaking softball with Bo Nix on national television.
Could they possibly flex this? I think they're going to flex it.
They're going to flex that. That's not happening.
Well, no, that one's already scheduled. I don't think they can flex.
Flex a Monday night?
But
I think
I
that
thought
they
they
have
said. I thought with the new rule they can flex any week they want.
Really?
But
I thought it was
be like
just
a certain.
late.
It has to be like a certain notice before some week. I can't remember the rules. It's complicated.
I wouldn't be shocked if they went tradesies and flexed the Chiefs Week 15 game to a Monday night.
Yes.
Legal.
Yes.
They could go that and give us the Monday night on the Week 15.
Well, that means they'd have to flex Cincinnati's game because there's no way they play on that Monday then that Thursday.
True.
Yeah, solid point, Blake. Solid point.
True. They might just flex this out, but if they keep it the same, this is a softball on national television.
But they could also flex Cincinnati based on how good or bad they're doing.
Which I mean, Denver might shock some people. You never know. I mean,
no, bro, come on,
bro, with their schedule though. I mean, it's still kind of like, I mean, you're kind of got a playoff picture, but like really, I think that'll be a game people will be like, okay, the Browns are playing, let's watch the Browns, because I think they'll want to put the Browns on primetime TV as much as they can.
This is another revenge game. Also, we should have.
Yeah, we want to crush after what Russell Wilson did to us last year, and we're going up there.
DTR, bro.
Yeah,
right. True. But at the same time, I think that's why I think it's a revenge game too. But like, I don't see where Denver's the worst team in the division. Cortland Sutton, Josh Reynolds, and Marvin Mims. Like with Bo Nix, who knows who Bo Nix is, right? Unless Bo Nix is going to have a CJ Stroud type season, I'm not afraid of Denver whatsoever. I'm not. So
the only thing I have going
that's a win.
Elevation, I think.
Yeah, we got to fight that. That was one of our problems last time. So 8-4. And Russell Wilson having one of the best games he's had all season last year versus us. That's a little bit concerning. But we'll be 8-4 after this game.
Yeah. And then back to Pittsburgh. I think
L.
Yeah, I've got us an L too. What about you, Manny already said an L. What about you, Jake?
L. I think we just always do. I don't know what happens. We just wet the bed and they somehow beat us. So
yeah, and then week 15. Kansas City Swifties are coming to town. What we thinking there? You think L?
Man,
that's one of the. I hate to take a weasel my way out of that and say like that's the only game that I would say depends on how the Browns look.
It's gonna be this. It's gonna be this crap. Like Taylor Swift's gonna be there. If Jason Kelce doesn't go to Philly, he's gonna be there, and Travis Kelce's gonna be there. It's gonna be all.
You think T Swift going to Cleveland?
It's gonna be all this.
It's gonna be all
this. It's gonna be all this drama crap, and it's just everything's gonna be focused on.
It'll
him.
be
Make it
no, it's not. It's not a home game. It's in Cleveland.
It's
a home. But it's his homecoming for him.
It's a homecoming game for the Kelces.
Oh, so you're saying that Travis can show her around Cleveland
Yep.
Yeah,
if he hasn't already?
yeah.
Gotcha.
And he's
Okay.
just gonna ball out in Cleveland because like
Okay.
it's
I'm not
just
going to
what
speak
would
on
happen.
this part, but for sure the whole Kelsey family will be there because that's where they all grew up.
Yeah.
I wish this game was sooner because this is when the Chiefs play some of their best football.
Yes.
And that's
Yes. They're
what
dirty
works
in December.
the most. If we get the Chiefs in October, September, you think, okay, we've got a chance here, but they're going to be locked and loaded week 15, and we better be because if we're not, they're going to beat us to death.
Okay. Okay. So what we thinking? W or L, boys?
L.
Yeah,
L.
lost.
L. But you, Manny?
I think he disappeared.
Oh, you disappeared?
Yeah.
I was on the schedule page. I got a W, bro. I think we're gonna beat the Chiefs.
A lot would have to happen in our favor.
Not really, bro. I
I
mean,
feel like-
if we're
I feel
listen,
like this
if
is gonna be
we're
a ref game, I feel like it's just gonna be everything we complain about on a daily basis. It's gonna happen in this game.
I think we're gonna become fan favorites. I think the Browns will be considered a team that America likes, and I think everybody's hating the Chiefs right now. And what more than have the media darling, the Cleveland Browns, beat the reigning Super Bowl champions that everybody hates except the Swifties on live television.
A lot's going to have to go in favor.
Listen,
way-
if we're considered Super Bowl contending team, we're going to have to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, but it's gonna be in
Why?
the playoffs.
See, I think we do in both.
I think it's a wake up call that like, hey, this is a team we have to get through, and they slip. I think it's close, but I think they slip
The-
away and lose.
The only reason I changed it was because I wanted the Browns, because I actually had it wrote down as an L, but I want the Browns to be 12-5, so I changed it.
I have them at 13-4.
Solid. So
I'm
I'm gonna say
saying
Manny will say
12-5.
L.
6, somewhere in there.
I'm being optimistic with
Now,
13-4.
of course, all of this that we're doing is barring injuries.
Yeah, I mean it's May when we're doing this, so
Yeah.
it's way too early. So week 16, I just put Manny down as an L because I feel like he'll say L. Cincinnati at Cincinnati Thursday night.
Dub. They're gonna wear their all whites, and we're gonna wear our brown jerseys, orange pants. I think we're gonna sweep them. I just think they're not gonna be as good.
I think a lot of this is going to depend on circumstances of where each team stands at week 16 in regards to division and playoff race. If we have a chance of winning that AFC North, I really think that we win this game. But if we get comfortable and think, oh, we can survive with a loss, teams can get in that mode. We can survive with a loss. I think we'll lose. But I still think we have the better roster, especially with the players that are trying to get out of Cincy. My heart says W, and I'm just going to go with W for that reason only.
I'm gonna say Manny's gonna say an L, but I will change it if he says otherwise. Miami, I have that one as an L.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Bro, every time we say it's a Southern team coming up to play in the cold Lake Erie weather,
But they're so bad in the cold. They are so
bro,
bad.
it don't matter. We lost to Andy Dalton in the cold at the coldest
Andy
game.
Dalton's used to that crap.
It don't matter, bro. I'm
Dude.
telling you, it's not gonna be like a blowout. They'll beat us by like 3. It's gonna be a close game.
I don't know that the Dolphins.
Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Two is gonna suck.
It don't even matter.
Two is gonna be questionable, bro. At the end of the season, like people
Wait.
are really gonna start questioning if he's the guy.
I still don't see us. That's just that game that I think that we get trapped in. We're like riding high, kumbaya,
Yeah.
campfire in the middle of the lake, like one of them top things,
That
and I
could
think
be-
we dropped the L.
That could be the case as well.
Okay, what are you guys thinking? W or L?
W.
W. Okay,
That's
Jake.
those circumstantial things. I think we win because it's in Cleveland in December. I think we get the advantage over the Dolphins. That one game against the Saints was a fluke. That would never have happened. That will never happen again. I think we win, but of course, at that point of the season, it's all circumstantial. For all we know, the Dolphins may have a terrible season, tank or something.
Well, we still got to see Deshaun play in the cold too. We ain't saw that much.
We haven't saw that much. We've saw the Ravens game that you and I went to, and of course the game where he kind of, he didn't really have a bad game against the Saints. The defense was what played.
The defense was butt.
Yeah, and Jim Schwartz hadn't entered the building yet, so that could easily change. But I get where you're coming from, Christian. But chalk me down for a W.
Chalk you down for a W.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me look. I'm gonna look at the stats versus New Orleans. He was 15 for 31, 135, 0 touchdowns, a pick. He did have that run-in touchdown though.
Yeah. He played a decent game for the temperature and the circumstances. It was the defense that played terrible.
Yeah. Okay, so you got a W. We'll wait on Manny to answer that too. Week 18 versus Baltimore. I got a W, clinching the AFC North.
I think we lose just because I don't even think we played starters.
I hope we do, even if we.
Ace.
I hope we do.
I have 13-4, and I'm currently at 13-3. So that's where I have all my losses at.
So I got you down for 13-4.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yeah, that would be your last loss. Okay, Jake.
Again, another circumstantial event. This could easily be your AFC North championship. This could also be us having a spot clinched and not being able to advance our position, and Baltimore trying to clinch. And we rest our starters while Baltimore plays theirs, and Baltimore just absolutely manhandles us. It could be the reverse. It's one of those you can't really answer it in May. I'm just going to go off of last year's win where we came back, and the entire team carried. Was it Kareem Hunt? They carried him like 15 yards for a first.
Njoku.
Njoku, yeah, that was, my gosh, I wanted to cry my eyes out on that play. Like this is a team. This is a team that cares about each other. But I'm going to go win.
Okay. So right now, Jake, you are at 12-5.
That's about, yeah. I 11-6. But yeah.
I think we improve. I think we have that 12-5 win
season. The weird thing though, if we go 11-6 this year, it's an improvement from last year automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Go 11-6 this year with the same record because we're playing a much tougher schedule than last year. Last year's schedule was not all that intense compared to this year.
Yeah, this is a juggernaut.
Yeah, well, of course, everybody knows, especially those that follow us, we've got the toughest schedule this entire season. The Ravens are second and Pitt's third. And the Bengals, them not having Joe Burrow kind of helped them in the long run, whereas they've got, I think they're 16th this year schedules. They got the luxury of playing the Panthers. We have to play the Saints. They got the luxury of playing the Patriots. We play the Dolphins. There's one other team that they play that's on the lower end of the league that don't get the luxury of playing, and I forgot who the Titans. The Bengals play the Titans this year. We do not.
Willie Levis is owning them. I'm telling you, bro.
It's so weird how Joe Burrow's injuries have gave them such good schedules.
Yeah,
he got hurt. They get Jamar Chase that year, and they don't they go to the Super Bowl that year?
Yep. That's that.
And then he gets hurt again, and now they have another easy schedule.
Yeah.
Well, it's not as easy as it was that year, though, because they went like, what was it, like 4-12?
But it's not as
It's
easy
not-
because their team's not as good.
It's true.
He's
That's
right.
true. Their defense is thinned out. Their offensive line's a little bit better, but that has to be seen because I think a lot of it's just the schematics of their offense.
Mm-hmm.
People like you
I
got to
just
have
feel-
like a certain type of tackle to be successful in that one.
I just feel bad for Joe because I don't want him to end up like Andrew Luck. I just like the comp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, the Bengals get to play the Patriots to start the season out. Then they've got the Chiefs on the road. Then they've got Washington at home, and then they get to play Carolina, which is good for them. So they started out pretty easy, and
Carolina's going to be surprising. I think their new coach is going to take some things up. I think he's pretty decent.
Who's new coach?
Carolina.
I don't know that they've got the firepower. I just don't.
I don't either, but I think they're going to get some like shocking wins.
Yeah, I could see that because
Yeah, go ahead, Christian. I'm sorry.
Bryce, I mean, last year under Frank Wright, and I mean, firing him that early in the year, just not a good omen for a rookie quarterback.
Right.
I mean, we struck gold that rookie year with Baker, and him being able to be successful despite that. But
A good point.
I think it's good for Bryce Young. I think you'll see a lot out of him.
Yeah, and it is the NFC South. I mean,
Yeah, that's a cakewalk, dude. You could take the best of the best out of the SEC and probably put up a good game against them.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, you might beat them actually. The SEC's pretty tough this year. I mean, adding Oklahoma and Texas to it,
Also-
but we'll hold off the college talk. But yeah, you guys got anything else to add before we end this?
Not really, man.
Were you gonna talk about the Hunter Renfrow thing?
I don't know. There's no legs to it.
Yeah,
Not enough info.
Yeah, there's not enough on that yet.
but I don't think it's necessary if they do it.
Yeah, I know. There's a rumor. Don't know if this is even true, but Hunter Renfrow might be coming in to practice with the Browns sometime next week. That'd be some nice depth. I mean, great route runner. I mean, the Browns might have one of the best route running.
It's just with that though. Like, who do you keep behind? Like, who do you leave behind?
I'd say
there's so
David
many.
Bell.
David Bell, probably.
I think David Bell's
Because,
your
like,
man out.
It just sucks because like David Bell, like he hasn't. Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. Oh god!
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't you do it. You do what you do it.
Okay.
Pee in your gas tank. Okay.
But I do
The
agree
thing
with you.
is, with David Bell, dude, like he's reliable on fourth down for some reason, but he can't do anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Bro, he started a little streak. He got a little
But-
streaky there toward the end of the year,
but-
though.
But
And in
it's
the
gonna be
playoffs.
hard. It's gonna be hard for that wide receiver room if you bring in Hunter Renfrow.
Bro, listen. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I know a lot of people are fawning over Jamar Thrash. Sorry.
Dude, he's gonna surprise people.
I just don't like that pick. I don't like our draft in general.
But he's from Louisville. You don't like that pick.
I hate that
Harvey.
pick. I remember I had just proposed to my girlfriend, and then I'm sitting at the good old Texas Roadhouse, and I look at Dad, and I go, "We just took Jamar Thrash from Louisville," and then Jake knows what I'm talking about. Jason looks at me, he said, "That's a horrible pick."
Yeah, that. I'm not. Yeah. And then
I just
drafted Mississippi State linebacker.
Steve Smith is
That's
high
a
on
good
him.
one.
He's high on him. But then again, he's low on Jerry Jeudy.
It's going to be good for the wide receiver room to have just have it be overly filled. If this is true, just have it
Yeah.
overly filled to the point where you have a problem that you haven't had since we came back to the NFL, where it's
Yeah.
like we just have all these wide receivers. Hey, you guys, like, kind of like the Joker scene where he snapped the pool stick in half and was like, hey, we're going to have some tryouts. Everybody, just, I mean, obviously not that violent, but like everybody just figure it out. Let's see. We got 3 preseason games. Let's see who wants to make the roster. You know, Amari Cooper's going to be there. You know, Elijah Moore's going to be there. You know, Jerry Judy's going to be there. For the rest of you, figure it out.
This is
come
where
down to David Bell, Jamari Thrash, and Michael Woods II. We haven't even seen Michael Woods II.
We haven't even seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He must be like a dog in practice.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
They've kept him around for 3 years now.
They kept him around for a minute.
And he's been injury prone. Like, you'd think they'd just let him go.
Yeah. See, the one thing that I'm just skeptical about the Thrash pick is, like, outside of DPJ, he is not hit on drafting wide receivers. Kind of the same thing with D tackle. And that's why I'm so skeptical on the Michael Hall and Jamari Thrash pick. Like, that's what kind of scares me about it, not gonna lie.
But Michael Hall would be a top half first-round draft pick if he would just stayed for next year. That's what made with Michael Hall.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, I'm just still, I gotta see it, you know? Because, like, I've heard all, like, the hype and stuff behind certain players just because they go to a bigger school and, like, they
He's going to be a rotational guy, but I think he's going to be a big impact.
Yeah.
Bigger than we think.
I hope
Not
so,
trying to be a homer, but...
I think this is one of the drafts that we look back at, me personally, and I'm okay with that, right? I mean, I'm okay with our team being so well-rounded that we don't need to hit on every player in this draft. They could be developmental pieces, but like, or like key rotational pieces. But like, I think we're gonna look on this draft in particular, and like, it's gonna be like some random like 2008 draft where we're like, I don't even remember who we even, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like it's gonna be like the 2014 draft.
You think so?
Yeah, like where we miss on, like, not because we didn't have a first round pick, so I'm saying this. But like we got like Joe Batonio in that draft.
Right.
Yeah,
but we didn't know those guys were those guys back then.
That's what I'm saying. The Zach Zinner pick, I think, is going to be the reason. And I like Nathaniel Watson. I think he's going to be I think he'll be the best pick we had for the value.
He might be a starter.
Bro, no joke, dude. He's insane.
He might start at the Sam.
Bro, no doubt. Dude, he's insane. Like, I don't get why he fell that far.
I'm not mad. Jail.
I think he's a little bit slow on the slower side, but
he's
smart,
an old
dude.
school.
He is smart.
Yeah.
I thought he was fast. Let me look at that.
I thought I can't remember. I think they said he was a little bit on the slow side. That's why he kind of fell off a little bit. Because he's more of that like traditional huge linebacker. But I could be mistaken.
Let's see. 40 was a 4.6. Yeah, you might be right on that. Yeah, he's 6'2", 233.
See, 230 is getting on a little bit of heavy side of what they usually want now.
But I think I saw something like he trimmed down quite a bit.
Oh yeah, he definitely probably will or should.
Yeah, he's a stud though. I'm
like
hyped about that pick.
Him, JOK, and Jordan Hicks will be sick.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Jordan Hicks will run the green dot and then just let JOK and Watson just run around.
But yeah, I'm excited. I think this year's gonna be a fun year. I like this rookie class. I mean, it can be whatever. Like, I mean, if we have some guys be studs, that's cool with me.
They're just depth pieces for this year.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't need nobody. We don't need nobody to come in and just make a huge impact. The only one we really need is Jerry Jeudy to live up to his potential.
Yeah, for sure. And then we've hit a freaking gym. But yeah, guys, thanks for hopping on tonight. It's been a fun episode breaking down the schedule. And as always, go Browns.
Go Browns.